Hi, I'm Janine, and this is Janine Sews. Today I'm going to tell you about my fitting fun and two tops that I made, and just give you an idea of a couple of quick things I'm going to make in the next 2 weeks. My husband suggested that I use his fancy DSLR camera, and I'm not sure if I know how to use it, so I'm really hoping this works out. Today I am wearing McCall's 7323, which is an elliptical shaped t-shirt, sleeveless or sleeved t-shirt. I've made it 3 times, and this one is in an ITY that I got at good old Hancock's. I wear this a lot in the summer because it's really comfortable, and I like how the arms fit and everything. And today, what is it currently? It's currently 95 degrees in Atlanta on October 3rd. We are really hoping that this heat breaks because I can't tell you how sick I am of summer clothes. So, not to belabor this, last time I told you that I was going to be working on fitting a woven top, and the pattern I selected is McCall's 7360, which is like a woven Henley. I made it once last year with pretty good success, but I really want to learn how to fit. So this week I'm going to tell you about how much fun I had fitting and what I learned. I know that many of you are very experienced in fitting, but I'm not, and I'm sharing it in case it's helpful to other people, and in case other viewers like you can help me figure out better ways to do things. But it's from comments, it seems like a lot of people don't have a lot of experience fitting. And I want to also say that everyone who commented on how things fit in my previous videos, I took everything you said to heart, and I really appreciate people pointing things out because I don't always see stuff. So I started working on McCall's 7360, and I first tissue fit, and then I pulled out a piece of Oxford cloth that I picked up for $1 a yard and marked it all up with the various lines and markings, pleats, darts, everything. And I started playing. So I took some pictures. I'm just going to show a few of the pictures that I took as I was fitting. And I wound up making a whole list of changes. You were all right in that I have a high rounded back. I'm not going to call it a dowager's hump. That's what it is. I'm just going to call it a high rounded back. I also have a sway back. So for the high rounded back, I added darts in the yoke at the shoulders, and then I added a wedge at the bottom of the yoke in the middle to add extra length to go over my high back. Then I did a sway back adjustment of 1 3/4 inches. That's a lot of fabric I took out of there. I moved the back pleats closer towards the center of my back and made them a little bit deeper just for more room. Then I did an FBA, and I then did something stupid. I was looking at how this fit. The first stupid thing I did is I did not baste in the sleeves. I just figured the sleeves would fit. That was a fatal error. So when I had it on, I looked at it and I thought, gee, there's an awful lot of fabric here. Why don't I get rid of some of that so it fits in my arm better? So I wound up taking off about a total of 1 inch front and back right here. What I didn't think about, because I don't know how to fit, is that my body actually needs that fabric. So when I move my arms back, there is space for them to move back instead of grabbing the fabric and pulling. So while I'm talking about this, I'm going to show a video of the finished shirt, of the real one in the Crazy Cat fabric. The back looks really good. It fits very nicely, but unfortunately I can't move my arms. I can't move them this way because the fabric is so tight now that the sleeves are in. And that was my mistake. Huge learning experience right there. I could have stuck in a gusset, but by that point I was so sick of working on this top, I was so disappointed in myself that I just said forget it. I'll probably never wear this. However, in spite of that, and in spite of spending 2 weekends total working on the toile and the top, it was a hugely rewarding and successful experience because I learned the 2 things that I always have to do. I must do a high round back adjustment, in woven tops in particular, and on everything I have to do a sway back adjustment. So, win-lose, but ultimately it was a win. I'm going to take those lessons with me and add them to all of my future woven top projects, that's for sure, and dresses and things like that. So after I got over that huge project, I decided to do something fun. And at the beginning of the month, I got an email from Burda magazine, and they listed some projects in their plus size category. And there was one top that I thought was so cute, in particular because it reminded me of some dresses that I'd seen when we were away on our holiday. And, sorry, she's got a thing about eating tape, so there's a roll of tape and she wants to eat it. So this top had the same gathering on the side as a lot of those dresses. I've never before made a Burda downloaded pattern, so I decided to try it, and I bought the pattern. It is Burda. Watch out, sweetie. I'm going to put a picture up, the picture that sold me on it. It's a wrap top. It's from the September 2019 edition of Burda, and the pattern is 126B. It's a top with, it's a wrap top that has a D-ring here for it to gather, and then there's a tab on the D-ring to hold it closed. So the things that attracted me to the pattern, it was the gathering, and I thought the D-ring was a really cute ready-to-wear feature, and it also has snaps on the sleeves and on the D-ring. Another nice ready-to-wear feature, and very different from a lot of normal top patterns that you see. So I downloaded it, I taped it together, then I realized it did not have seam allowances. But, of course, in August, I picked up this handy dandy seam allowance ruler. So I was able to use this on the pattern. I just cut out the pattern to the right size, jammed this right up against the edge, and then I chalked, and I just cut out along the chalk lines. And it was probably easier than pinning and cutting and rotary cutting. So that wound up being a much better experience than I expected. Now for the sizing, I said this is a plus size pattern, and it is. It is Burda sizes 44 to 52, which equates to big 4 pattern sizing of 18 to 26. So I fit right in at a 48. One of you had previously mentioned that Burda cuts for a C cup, so I didn't do any adjustments on the bust, although I did do the sway back adjustment. The back has there's a seam at the waist and the front and the back, so I was able to do a sway back adjustment. The fabric that I used is an ITY animal print that I picked up at Fabric Mart last year. I think it was $5.99 a yard. I had 2.5 yards, and I think I have almost a yard left. It went together very well. It was a really fun sew. I loved the way the D-ring was used and the tabs. The other great little feature on it is on the inside of the wrap, there's also another tab that's hidden so that your inside piece stays closed. It's a little bit low cut for my life, so I added a hook and eye right here. So this was a fun project. I really enjoyed it. I'll definitely make this pattern again. 2 quick things that I found on the pattern. If anybody looks at it and wants to make it, you do have to gather the sleeves. The pattern says to just ease, but you do have to gather the sleeves some. And secondly, the tab that goes around the D-ring to keep the front shut, I made it 1/2 inch wider. It was cut to only be 1 inch wide when it was finished. I made it 1.5 inches to hide more of the D-ring. And it really needs to be interfaced because you're using snaps. So I also interfaced it. I bought crummy hammer-on snaps. They're okay. I think I'm going to wind up having to replace them because there's going to be a lot of push and pull on those when I'm opening and closing sleeves. Oh, the other thing I did wrong is I put the snaps on the wrong side of the sleeves, so they close backwards, but who cares? You know, if I ever made something and didn't screw up something, it would be a miracle. Those were the 2 things I made. So what's up next? So plans. I have 2 events in the next 4 weeks that I have to make things for. The first is the President's Challenge for my ASG chapter. I have to have something in red or plaid in the next 2 weeks. And you'll remember that I picked up this plaid, this tartan remnant when I was in London in August. So I planned to make a bag with that. But then I remembered I have 3 yards of suede scuba. So of course this is like an ultra suede, really soft and suede-ish on one side. It's got some stretch. It's not too thick, unlike some other scubas I've worked with, but I have 3 yards of this in lipstick red. I would like to make either a jumper, one with darts front and back, or, and I do have a pattern somewhere for that, or I really like the Mary Quant shift dress, the one with the keyhole. It's designed for wovens, but I think I could get away with this. I just think it's very cute. That would be a little interesting, having the little keyhole. I've downloaded the pattern already and printed it. But if I make that, then I could do a collar in the plaid. What do you think? I've even considered doing the collar as a button-on, like we used to have in the 60s and 70s, so that things would be very versatile. I've considered that. But if you have any ideas or suggestions, I'm going to be working on this starting late on the weekend, probably, or next Monday. So got to get on this. #1 priority. And hopefully it's going to cool off so I can wear this with black tights. The second project is on November 2nd, Atlanta's having its first ever frock tails, sponsored by Top Stitch, which is a local sewing studio and fabric store, and Fabricate, which is a sewing studio that does a ton of really cool classes. If you haven't been to Frock Tales or heard of Frock Tales, it's a cocktail party where everyone wears their best me-made. Some people are doing ball gowns. I will never wear a ball gown. So I'm planning to make either a day dress or maybe something a little bit dressier. My first thought is to make another Sew Over It Zoe dress. And I have a blush pink triple crepe that I think would be perfect for it. I've actually got the 2 fabric and pattern together in a box ready to go. I would just dress that up, make it a little more evening-ish with nice jewelry, and I'd actually wear heels. My second thought was, last year I bought the Maven French Dart shift dress. It's got a really cool kind of funnel collar, and I would love to make that. And I would love to make that like in a brocade or something. Like, I guess I'd be channeling, I don't know who, Ethel Merman. So, you know, one of those looks, the very big look that you used to see in the 60s and early 70s. So maybe that. Of course I'll be able to wear the pink dress to work and everything. So that's the more reasonable choice, but I'm not sure yet. Before I start on those, on Friday night and Saturday, I am going through my closet again, because every time I look at things now, I see how poorly fitted they are. So I'm going to get rid of some more clothes. And I'm going to record it just for myself. But if people are interested, I'll do a really quick video and show what I'm getting rid of and why I am. I'm going to do it for me anyways, but if people would be interested in seeing that, just leave a comment and I'll post it. It'll be a quick little video, just kind of a summary. But I find if I don't write things down, I make the same mistakes over and over again. So, a quick little update. She got a friend. About 10 days ago, we adopted a beautiful 7-year-old black medium-haired cat from the Atlanta Humane Society. And he's just a doll. He's the sweetest, softest, most loving cat I've ever encountered. They're getting along. Today was the first day that they were alone in the house together, and everybody seems to be happy and healthy. They ate dinner together tonight for the first time, so I think it's going to work out well. We just keep reminding her that we got him for her. We didn't get him for us. We got him for her. Anyways. We're really hoping this hot weather ends tomorrow. Forecasters have promised more autumn-like weather on Saturday. I can't wait. And that's about all that's going on for the early October. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your comments. And I will see you soon.